feel like at this point, everybody in the world knows the Eagles are going to be adding a running back. The question is, will they be smart and draft Bijan Robinson, or will they make a trade for a running back like Derrick Henry, or even maybe Austin Ekeler?
Dallas still stinks.
Yo, by the way, Dingbat here, you can feel the momentum build, right? You can feel it continue to grow, pause. But the Eagles are obviously going to land a running back. The question is, will they be smart and draft 5 like we think they should? Or will they look to maybe trade for a guy like Derrick Henry, or maybe even Austin Ekeler? Now, we're going to get into it, but before we do that, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled, pause, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, thank you so much for all the support you give to me. It truly means a lot. And just a reminder, Thursday, we will be live for the draft every hour, minute, second of the draft, all 3 days. You definitely don't want to miss it. Now, the running back narrative continues. We continue to talk about the running back. What are the Eagles going to do at the running back position? I obviously want to draft Bijan Robinson. That is my main hope. That is my main goal, and that's what I think the Eagles should obviously do. But that doesn't mean that there aren't other options that I would like. Of course, if Bijan Robinson, the Eagles can't get him for whatever reason, I would love Jahmyr Gibbs. I absolutely have no issues with Jahmyr Gibbs as a running back. I am also open to trading for a guy like Derrick Henry. If you have a chance to add Derrick Henry to this offensive line, to this offense, and you can do it, absolutely do it for the right price. For the right price. Another guy that we got to talk about is Austin Ekeler, because NFL Analysis put a mock trade for Austin Ekeler to the Philadelphia Eagles. I kind of wanted to see everybody's thoughts on it, see what you guys think. Austin Ekeler is a good player. There's no doubt he's a good running back, and he's only 27 years old. 5'10", 200 pounds, 27 years old. He's in his 6th year. Last year, he ran for 204 attempts, 915 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4.5 yards a carry, which is absolutely fantastic. But the thing about Ekeler is he had 107 receptions, okay? 107 receptions for 722 yards. So, you get a back that catches over 100 balls a year. I mean, if he would have done that in the Eagles, he would have led the team in receptions. Devontae Smith had, 95 and led the team in receptions. So, Austin Ekeler is very interesting prospect because of that. Now, I like Austin Ekeler. I really, really do. My question is would Austin Ekeler be the guy that the Eagles go out and trade for? I think part of it would have to be, you have to hope Rashad Penny is going to stay healthy. And then, to me, it becomes much more appealing. But this is what NFL Analysis, this is what they said the offer would be. I'm going to get your guys' opinion on it. But here's what they said. What could a trade between the Eagles and the Chargers centered around Ekeler look like? Lacking middle and late round picks, Philadelphia could offer a 3rd round pick in 2023 NFL draft and a 2nd round pick via the New Orleans Saints in 2024 in exchange for Ekeler and a 5th round pick in the 2023 NFL draft. So the Eagles would give up a 3rd round pick in 2023, a 2nd round pick in 2024, and they would get Ekeler and a 5th round pick. To me, that's a lot. That's a lot for a running back, right? Not only that, you have to remember, Ekeler wants a new contract. The whole reason why he may leave the Chargers is because he wants a new contract. So the Eagles would have to be willing to pay Austin Ekeler a lot of money. They would have to be willing to go out and pay him. Then you're in a situation, again, where it's like, okay, so you let Miles Sanders walk, and I'm not saying Miles Sanders is Austin Ekeler, but you didn't want to pay him. You get Rashad Penny cheap. I mean, I think they gave him less of a signing bonus than they gave Boston Scott. Now you're going to have to sign him to what, a 3-4 year contract. The guy's 27 years old. Me personally, I like Austin Ekeler. I really do. But to give up a 3rd round pick this year, a 2nd round pick next year, and then have to pay him, to me is too much. I would not do that. I would rather take that 3rd and 2nd round pick and trade for Derrick Henry before Austin Ekeler. I'm just going to be quite honest with you. And it's not that I don't like Austin Ekeler. I really like Austin Ekeler, but to me, that's just a lot to give for a running back that's 27 years old, and then you're going to have to pay him. It's the same thing really for Derrick Henry. I mean, I could talk about Derrick. I love Derrick Henry, but what are you getting him for? 1 year? You're going to get him for 1 year. You're going to give up a 2nd and 3rd round pick. It's too much. It's too much for both guys. You're better off just drafting a running back. The beautiful thing about drafting Bijan Robinson is that if you drafted him and he starts right away, one, you're going to have Rashad Penny. He is now not going to get as many carries. Maybe you keep him healthy. If he's your 2nd back in the rotation, that's really, really good. And I love the idea of having two big backs in Bijan and Penny, and then you have Boston Scott and Gainwell kind of change of pace backs a little different. I think that is an absolutely brutal lineup. Second, you keep Penny probably more healthy. Bijan obviously is going to start right away, and he's under contract for 5 years at like $4 million. I think it was $4 million last year. I think it's about 5 or 6 this year. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to cost, but I know last year it was about $4 million a year cap-wise. So it's really cheap. Austin Ekeler is going to command a lot of money. Do the Eagles want to pay that to a running back? When you look at the way that they're paying Jalen Hurts and the way they structured his contract, the first 3, 4, 5 years of that contract, he really doesn't take a big cap hit. So it allows you flexibility to go out and do things. But do you want to go out and spend that money on a running back, or do you want to be able to go re-sign Devontae Smith when his extension comes up, because he's going to be next? Then you have A.J. Brown. Maybe you want to keep both of those guys. You have Dallas Goedert. You're going to want to sign these other guys. So to me, when I look at a trade for a running back, I can't see the Eagles giving up a 2nd and a 3rd round pick and then turning around and signing a guy like Ekeler to big money. It wouldn't make sense. I would rather the fact that the Eagles work so hard to get Jalen Hurts' contract in a position where they're going to have flexibility. I would not want to go spend that money on a running back. I want a running back who is going to be, they're 4 or 5 years at $4 or $5 million a year, pretty cheap, but very talented. That is such an appealing thing for me. I can't tell you. This is why I don't even understand what we're talking about here. It should be Bijan Robinson or bust, as far as I'm concerned. The Eagles should be doing everything they can to go out and get this guy, because if they land him for 4 or 5 years and he's there and he's as good as I think he's going to be, and a lot of us think he's going to be, you're set. And now you have the money to go pay all these other guys. The more I think about Derrick Henry, and I really love Derrick Henry a lot, it doesn't really make sense for you to go out and get a guy like that, because you're going to have to pay him more money. If you're going to bring in Derrick Henry, you're either bringing him in for 1 year, or you're going to have to restructure his contract. How much will that cost you? That's the question. I think Ekeler probably would want more money than it would cost you 1 year for Derrick Henry. So to me, it doesn't make sense. The play is get a running back that is an impact guy, that's a rookie, that's young. I don't think the Eagles are scared to draft a running back in the 1st round. I got to say that too. A lot of people think the Eagles are just scared they'll never take a running back in the 1st round. I don't believe it. It was proven with Christian McCaffrey. The thing that the Eagles don't want to do is they don't want to pay a running back a 2nd contract. That's where the problem with the running back is. They don't want to give big money to a running back. They rather have a young guy. Well, you know what? You got Jalen Hurts under this window where his contract is perfect, right? And this is why I think the Bijan thing is way more likely than people think. Because the way they set up Hurts' contract, it really doesn't come back until later on, year 2027, 2028. Then they're going to have to restructure it. But in the meantime, they're going to have a lot of money under the cap, okay? So what the Eagles want to do is, what they're saying is, in that 5-year window with Jalen Hurts, we really got to go for it. We really have to go all in because we have flexibility here. So if that's the case, then you want to get it. Then drafting a rookie running back like a Bijan Robinson and having him for that time, for that 4 to 5 years, is totally worth it. Every carry the guy has will be important. Every carry. Because you're going to be competing for Super Bowls. And 4 or 5 years, if he goes, he goes. You let him walk, you let him walk. You do it again. But that's what the Eagles should do. And that's the position they are in. So when it comes to this Austin Ekeler trade, I wouldn't do it. I'm not giving up that much and then having to pay the guy. That's just me. What do you guys think about this trade? Let me know in the comment section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. And it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. So I thought this was kind of interesting. I want to show you guys real quick. This is from Ian Hartitz. Hartitz, I don't know. He says, Bijan Robinson landing spot superlatives, all right? And he's got where he's most likely going to go, most funniest Twitter reaction if he goes to which team, best for fantasy football. But if you look at where it says the most scary for the NFL, Eagles. Most scary for the NFL. It is just unbelievable how scared people are that the Eagles are going to land Bijan Robinson. We've got a chance to do something special here. We've definitely got to do it. Denzel Washington out.